Guys, I am so cold. I can't even explain to you how cold I am. And also, I'm a little bit sick. Hence why I sound like I'm speaking out of my nose. But anyway. Hello, my name is Joe. I review TV shows online and discuss my delusional theories. Comment, subscribe, and like. It helps me a lot, actually, guys, so click it. I have figured it out, the thing that has been missing throughout this entire season, the tension. Because I rewatched season 1 kind of like in a haze because I was in bed for a whole day just thinking that I was gonna die. I literally cosplayed a dude bro with a cold. And then at some point I reminded myself of the kind of pain I feel once a month, and I thought, all right, let's get out of bed and go do laundry because this is not that serious. But anyway, I figured out, LIONESS, why I've been not enjoying it this entire season, and it's so much more than the fact that they are trying to portray strong female characters, but they just shout and shoot everyone. It's so much more than them just being so aggressive and so kind of nationalistic, patriotic in this season. The thing that has been missing throughout the entire freaking thing that we had in season 1 was the tension, the shimmering, the just tension, because there are certain scenes in season 1 where you are almost sure that baby girl Cruz is going to be caught, that she's going to be caught in a lie, because you saw in the first season of the season, in the first scene of the season, you see the consequences of a lioness failing. You see what the people you are infiltrating do to you, and you see what the people who sent you there do to you. And in this season, that was the issue for me, I think. Well, one of the issues. There was not enough tension. And speaking of it, I do have to mention the last scene kind of the show where we see the team being almost defeated. They were almost defeated, but it was good. It was a intense moment, and really you could feel it in the actors and in those characters that they were being like cornered and they didn't think they were going to make it out alive. But the thing that kind of takes me out of it is the fact that I know, as an audience member, I know that Zoe Saldana will not die. I know that they need her for our next season, and they need certain elements of the team for the next season because we already saw them being transferred from season 1 to season 2. So the difference is that in the first season, we could completely believe that Cruz would not survive. We could completely believe it because we already saw her predecessor die at the beginning of the season. So in those moments of tension, it was believable because Cruz, in the larger scheme of things of the show, was not that important. She's not a known actress. She was clearly not a vital member of the team. So her dying wouldn't have been like shocking. We would have believed it. We would have seen it coming because it was such a dangerous mission. But in this season, putting the entire team in danger, putting Zoe Saldana's character in danger, we immediately know, as the audience members, that they are going to survive somehow. And then they do it, and it's just... okay, cool. It was a cool action sequence, but I mean, the show used to be so much more than that. The first season was so much more than just a cool action sequence, and I mean, it had one. The ending of season 1 was great action, where at any moment, this agent running in underwear towards the field, towards the ocean, it felt like she could perish at any moment, and then she didn't, because that was the shock value of the show, was that you expected her to die, and then she didn't. And in this season, no one is expecting them to die, especially after Jo got shot and she already survived it. Why would she die now? You know, she could have died like 2 episodes ago, and she didn't. So I think that was like the main issue for me with Lioness season 2. It deviated from its ideology in season 1 completely. It didn't bring any attention. It was literally made for dude bros online. I'm sorry. Like, I know I don't want to alienate that part of my audience by calling you that, but come on. It's unavoidable. I don't know of a single person like me, let's put it like that, who was watching this show. And the first season was very much for people like me. The second season, well, and I put up a poll on my channel to ask everyone who's excited for season 3, and most of you are, so that's great, I guess. I really hope that, I mean, I know I talk a lot of shit about the show, but I will probably watch season 3 anyway, unless it's like really terrible for me. But I really hope they bring back the tension. I hope they bring back the complex characters and the complex situations. Because in this season, everything is pretty much straightforward. I mean, there's not that much complexity of character in this season. They make everyone much more clearly a good guy or a bad guy, you know? And I didn't like that. But anyway, I hope for more tension. I hope for more morally great characters. And I hope for, honestly, less shouting. I can't take it with all the shouting in this show. It drives me insane. And I was very appreciative that in the last episode, and probably because Joe was hurt, but I was very appreciative of the fact that they didn't shout so much. I enjoy that. I think most of all, in this last episode, I enjoyed how much they didn't shout as much. But anyway, I have to mention still the moment between Byron and Nicole Kidman's character. I'm so sorry, I still can't remember her name. But these two agents that are usually not in the field anymore, I'm sure they were at some point. I think they both mention it. But they've been behind the desk, quote unquote, behind the desk for a long time. And then they go in the field, and just to witness how easily people are swayed against their kin, because the guy from the cartel, the guy that I said would turn out to be the boss, well, he didn't turn out to be the boss, but he shot the boss and he became the boss, even though the boss was his brother. So, yeah, I like that. I like them showing that after you are not in it for a while, you become more sensitive to it. Because that's one thing that happens to you when you witness too much violence. You become desensitized to it. It's inevitable. Like, I used to work with victims of domestic violence, and it was a huge issue, and it's something that your colleagues remind you a lot of when you're working in this field, is you cannot allow yourself to be desensitized to violence, because even though to a professional, seeing someone come through the door saying that they were kicked and punched and abused for 10 years seems like every other day this is what you hear, to those people it's their life and it's their trauma. So you really can't like downplay it or get used to it, even though you kind of do a little bit. And I enjoy that. I enjoy the aspect of a show admitting this and showing how it is not normal. Like, it isn't okay for a person to become so desensitized to violence that they are willing to go to another country and shoot up hundreds of people. Like, that's not normal for a human being. And also, I didn't like the ending, because at the end we have this very emotional music playing, and we have Joe being like, oh my god, I can't believe we all made it out alive. And the hypocrisy, it's what I'm thinking, the hypocrisy. Because yeah, it's very sad that they got hurt and that they almost died. It's very sad that they have gunshot wounds in their chest and in their body. It's very sad. But just half an hour ago, you murdered how many people? How many men did you shoot up in that field? Come on. This show is so hypocritical. But I understand it. They are portraying the US military, so I understand it. But like, come on. Why are you playing a sad song because a guy got shot in the stomach after he murdered like 20 people? Anyway, I hope you enjoy the show. If you enjoy the show because of all the action and the violence, I would recommend therapy, I guess. If you enjoyed all of the shouting and the cursing and the name calling, I would also recommend therapy again. If you are in the minority that enjoyed the lesbian action, this is not what I meant when I said bring back the lesbians to Lioness. This is not what I meant, because these are... No. What I want is Cruz and Aaliya. Let's not get it twisted. Jose, whatever is her name, may be a great person, even though she's the daughter of a cartel boss. But no. I mean, Aaliya is not much better. She's the daughter of a guns dealer. So... honestly, Cruz's taste in women is questionable. But yeah. Hello there, guys. Joe from a few days after that recording, because someone commented on another video about what my opinion is on Josie, right? I think I called her Jose. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm not great with character names, but that they wanted to hear my opinion about Josie and Cruz's relationship. And I did rant a little bit about it, but I didn't give a serious opinion because I do care about this relationship. Not maybe in the way that you would expect me to, given how much I have wished the lesbians back in Lioness. But... I like Josie individually. I think she's a good character, especially because in this season she was often in contrast to the insanity that you find in the Lioness task force. And I think that she was a good way to balance out the madness in the team, because she's not used to it. She's not even used to close combat because she's a pilot. And when she's confronted with their tactics, their training, their missions, the way they operate, she's often shocked and just taken aback, and it takes her a little bit for her to adjust, and I like that. I like that she is a character that is in contrast to all of the madness from the other characters, because we needed it this season, especially. Last season, this kinda was Cruz. She was mistreated, honestly abused by the Lioness team during the training. And actually in this episode, she sees the guy that simulated SA on her as part of her training. She sees him again, and she's like, get out of my face. But yeah, I liked her character in that perspective, in the way that she was a balancing element to the team, to the madness in this team. And I didn't like the idea that she comes from a cartel family and we're still supposed to think that she's a good person just because she went into the desert and shot people from the sky. Like, obviously a person with corrupt morals. She has very patriotic views, but I mean, I think by now you guys know what I think about this. And in the same way that Cruz doesn't really have anyone to return to after she leaves the military, because she doesn't have family, she doesn't have friends. She was literally running away from her boyfriend when she joined the military. Josie is a little bit like that as well. I mean, she hasn't even seen her family in ages. When she contacts them, I don't think she goes home a lot. So her life is also the military, kind of like Cruz. And the thing I don't like about their relationship is that they bonded over their shared trauma. Like, they're literally making out with the entire squad around them, basically. And I don't like that. I don't like it. I don't think it's healthy for them. And especially I don't like their relationship because I want Aaliya back. which I'm never gonna get, let's be honest. But I think the big difference between Cruz and Josie and Cruz and Aaliya was that Cruz and Aaliya was the thing. Like, she truly was in love with her. And the fact that she was in love with Aaliya had consequences for her mission, had consequences for the plot of season 1. The fact that she had to murder the father of the person that she loved, that was insane for Cruz. That's what drove her out of the Lioness program. That's what she couldn't take. Like, killing an arms dealer, fine, I'll do it. But when that arms dealer is the father of the woman that I love, you know? And in season 2, you don't see this complexity in the relationship between Josie and Cruz because it doesn't have any implications. Like, the only implication you see is in the final episode when Cruz has to kind of help Josie get out of the airplane, not airplane, the helicopter, the chopper. How do you call those things? Whatever. She has to help her get out of the flying machine. And they almost die, but I mean, come on. We knew they weren't going to die. The entire team that is the focus of the show, sure they're gonna die. Sure they're in danger. Anyway, so you see, the stakes are much lower in season 2. The stakes for this relationship are much lower in season 2. And it's a relationship completely based on trauma, on shared trauma, which the relationship with Aaliya was not, because the relationship with Aaliya was based on their shared dreams. Aaliya told her what she dreamed for her life, even though she knew, both of them knew, that was never going to happen because she was the daughter of who she was the daughter of, and she would have expectations to fulfill for the family. But the way that the relationship built was, what if there's an alternate reality out there in the world where we can be together? They built their relationship on the obscure, almost impossible possibility that it would work. They truly fell in love. And with Cruz and Josie, it's not like that at all. With Cruz and Josie, it's just seeking comfort in the nearest body possible. And yeah, I don't love it. I think Cruz deserves better. Like, I just want this girl to have some peace. But anyway, that's my full thoughts on Cruz and Josie. I hope that's her name. I didn't even check. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Continue the video. I hope for better relationships for Cruz in the future. I love that she swore off men, because girls same, I wish. But better relationships, like baby girl Cruz, you deserve better. But I would die for Aaliya. Honestly, if they bring back Aaliya in season 3 as an antagonist, and then Cruz is the only one who is able to get to her, and then something happens, and they still remain enemies, I would watch that. You know what I would watch? I would watch a spin-off show of baby girl Cruz and baby girl Aaliya going to a couples therapy, the same couples therapy that the boss of the squad would go with her ex. The ex-couple who has really great banter. I would watch a spin-off show of those 4 people going to couples therapy. Any day. Any day. Alright, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed. Genuinely hope you enjoyed Lioness, and let me know what other shows you'd like me to review, like in this vein, or even a very different vein. Maybe a vampire show? Actually, I'm watching Interview with a Vampire, and I will be posting probably about it, so watch out for that. If there's any other kind of action, adventure, military, spy shows they want me to watch, just comment down below and I might. Because I've received so far in the history of my channel, 2 requests. One of them was Interview with a Vampire, and I'm actually enjoying it. So please comment your requests down below. Bye. I'm going back to bed. No, I'm not.